Alright, welcome back to the channel, you guys. Today we're going to talk about getting LASIK, PRK, or the SMILE refractive corrective surgery for your eyes while you're in the military. But before we start off with that, did you know 98% of the people that watch these videos are not even subscribed to this channel? So for you watching this video right now, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1K and 98% of you aren't even subscribed. So first thing is first, you're going to, what I did, I just called the local optometry place, which was on base. I called them, told them I wanted to set up a LASIK consult. So once I went in, I got my date to go in for that. I went in, and what they do is you have to be out of contacts for at least 30 days prior to this appointment. So that way, if you wear contacts, so that way they can measure your eyes without, because the contacts, they can affect the cornea. So that way when they're taking the measurements of it, it could make for some messed up measurements, and they don't want that. So they want really precise measurements. So you go in, do a whole bunch of tests and everything, bunch of different little eye exams so they could see if you're a candidate for any of these different surgeries. So I went in, got all the stuff done. They then put together a huge packet for me, which is all the different tests they did, everything, basically everything they covered in the appointment while I was there for probably like 2 hours getting everything done. And then once they got all that together, they emailed all that stuff to me. The doctor came in and he told me that I was a candidate for it. Now I'm stationed at Langley, and Langley does not do these surgeries. So he gave me the email to the person at Andrews. So I had two options. I could either go to Andrews and stay with like a Air Force and then come back to Langley and do all my follow-up appointments with him, or I could go to a naval station that was closer to me, but I'd have to make all my appointments through them, so I'd have to go back to them a lot of different times. So me, in my personal opinion, it was easier to drive up to DC, stay there for 3 days and get the surgery done. That was just easier for me to do, because then everything else after that is going to be done at Langley. Now it did turn into a hassle, but it's nice because we got it all done in 1 week, and then everything from now on is at Langley. I don't have to drive out of my way to go get any more appointments done. Now, once they put the package together, they give you the email of the people that you're going to go with. So if you're going to go with somebody that's at a different base, or if you're going with somebody that's in a different branch in the military, either way, they're going to put a package together for you. Once they put that package together, there's a commander authorization form that you have to get signed. So you're going to have to route this form up. Once the form gets routed up, it's going to get your commander's signature, your UDM signature, pretty much everybody's signature. So it's basically saying that we understand that this person will not deploy for 6 months after his surgery, and he's not scheduled to deploy in this time frame whatsoever for him to get the surgery in the first place. So they're going to do that. You're going to get that signed. Once you get that signed, you're going to take that along with the package that they put together with you, and you're going to send all of that in an email to wherever you're going to get the surgery done. Now, for me, it was actually really fast. So they had I believe like a 2-week turnaround, and a lot of people said that it takes a lot longer than that to hear back from them. So it was about 2 weeks, and they were telling me that they could actually schedule me in to get the surgery and everything about 2 weeks after that. But this was all before COVID happened. So because of COVID, my original surgery date got pushed back indefinitely, and they didn't know when they were going to do another surgery. So I basically went into limbo mode, waiting for them to open back up to be able to do surgeries again. So originally I was gonna be looking at maybe 6 to 8 weeks, and I was gonna be completely done with everything. But instead it pushed it back about 3 months or something like that. So, but once we actually got in, and they were saying that they were going to do surgeries again, it actually was very fast. Like, they wanted me in there like the next week, but I wasn't out of contacts because I didn't know when it was going to reopen. So I just went ahead and started wearing contacts again. So that's why it took me so long to get in, because COVID kind of ruined it all for me. Now, it wouldn't have happened that way if it was either now or pre-COVID. It would have been a lot faster. But the nice part is they did get me in really fast, and they knocked everything out. So for me, I was an out-of-towner, so I had to go out of town to get it done. So what happened was I went to DC on a Sunday, and I had my first appointment on Monday, second appointment on Tuesday, surgery on Wednesday, and then I had a 5-day break where I had to be back in DC the following Monday for my last pre-op appointment, where they remove the protective contacts and everything, which we'll get into that later. Now that's the difference between going out of town or in town. So if you go in town, so my buddy, he actually had his done in town. Through Portsmouth, so through the Navy. And what happened for him was every one of those appointments would be scheduled out about a week or two away from each other. So it took him about 6 months, I think he said, to get in. And then after that, it was like a week or two in between for each one of those appointments until he finally got a surgery done. So that's the difference between out of town and in town. If you're in town, you're just gonna go to all the appointments separate. They're not going to kind of lump them all together. If you're out of town, they're going to basically take a whole week, and they're just going to push it all together so you can get everything done within 3 days. All right, so now you have your initial appointment out of the way. You have your package built, sent up. You have your surgery date. Now you know what happens if you're out of town or in town. So what happens when you get there? So from my experience, got there on a Sunday night. Then on Monday, I had my pre-op appointment. So this was a 3-hour appointment where they went back through and did all the same tests that they did at your consult. And they go back through, do all the same tests, and they do all the tests 3 times to make sure that your eyes, that is the measurement that they're getting for your eyes. So they're gonna do the test 3 times so they can get the same numbers, so they know that your eyes are exactly this, because once they do it, that's kind of it. So you spend about 3 hours there. They dilate your eyes and everything. After that, you can drive back. So for us, we drove back to the hotel. After that, because of COVID, we had, the next day was supposed to be a consent briefing where they go over all the paperwork and everything that they've given you on the first day. And then they will take all of that stuff, get all your signatures, everything on that, make sure you understand everything. This is where they go over the medication, everything that you're gonna have to do. And then on Wednesday, you go in, have the surgery done, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't like people messing with my eyeballs. I just think it's very unnatural. I don't like it. So the surgery was kind of hard for me, just to get used to. But basically, the way it goes is you go in, you get numbing drops. They give you all your medication. They give you sunglasses, everything you're gonna need for your post-op. They give you everything in a bag. They go over it before you get the surgery done, so you understand everything. So they're very in detail about everything. So once they get done with all that stuff, then the fun starts. And wasn't very fun for me. So then you go back, you go into the surgery room, and they take these little things and they put them right up in here, and they just hold your eyeballs open. And let me tell you what, it is the weirdest thing ever, because you're trying to sit there and blink and your eyes can't blink. Like, you just can't do it. Anyways, you get used to that, kind of. You kind of get used to it. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. I didn't like it at all. But I like the results that I've received afterwards. So they put these, little things in there, get your eyeballs pried open. They put in some more numbing drops. So for PRK, forgot to mention this part. So for PRK, the difference is they get rid of the outer layer completely. With LASIK and Smile, they actually just cut the flap with a laser and then fold it up and then do your surgery, fold it back down. With PRK, they actually have to get rid of all that. So this is where the weird part really starts to happen. They take what looks like a toothbrush, that spins around, and they just take it and just rub it all over your eyeball for a while until like all your stuff's gone or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't really know exactly how it works, but that's what it seems like. So they do that. And then after they do that, like, you don't feel anything at all. Like, you just feel them, like, it's more like you see it coming and then it's just blacked out. So it's really weird and odd, but not too bad. So then after that, then they come in with a laser. They just tell you to look at a light, you look at that light, and then it just does its job, and in like 10 seconds you're done, and then they're moving on to the next one, do the same thing with the other one. And then yeah, you're all done. Then they wash it out afterwards. For PRK, since they got rid of that protective layer, they're going to put a contact on, and that contact's going to stay on until you go back for your 5-day pre-op, which you have to do at the place that you had it done. Like, you can't go somewhere else and do the 5-day pre-op. They are the ones that have to do it. So they put the contact on, and then yeah, you're done. You're done. You sit up, and man, you can see 20/20. It's amazing. And then about 2 minutes later, your vision's like blurry, super blurry. But that's gonna happen. It's regardless. So then we'll get into the next part, which is the recovery. All right, so we talked about everything. We talked about the surgery, everything leading up to it. Now for the recovery. It's not that bad. I've watched some other videos on here of some people that were just bawling their eyes out, talking about how bad it hurts and everything else. If you've ever worn contacts, and you've ever had like a dry contact in your eye and it just like irritates you, like, it doesn't hurt, it's just very irritating, that's what it feels like. The worst part for me was not the fact that it was irritating or it hurt or anything like that. My biggest gripe of it all was the fact that for about 5 days you pretty much had to sit around with your eyes closed, because closed eyes promotes healing, so you just don't want to open your eyes at all. So you sit there with your eyes closed for like 5 days, and that really sucks, because you just have nothing to do, and you can't sleep because you've already slept a bunch, so there's nothing more you could do. So I recommend downloading some audibles. This is what I did. Download a bunch of audibles, put them on your phone, so that way while you're sitting there throughout the day, because you're gonna wanna watch TV, but you're also gonna want your eyes to heal properly, so don't watch TV. Instead, download audibles, put them on your phone, put some headphones in, and just listen to books all day long. That's the best advice I can give you, because it's gonna keep your brain occupied, and you may learn something, and you're just not gonna go crazy because you want to keep your eyes closed for the first 5 days until you go back to get those contacts out. Like, you just want to keep your eyes closed because that's gonna make your eyes heal faster. The other thing is, make sure you do all of the eye drops that they tell you to. Make sure you take the medication that they tell you to. So they're gonna give you a vitamin. They're gonna give you an allergy medicine. I can't remember what it's called. They're gonna give you an allergy medicine that's gonna help you sleep because it's like a drowsy medicine. So it'll help you sleep at night. And it'll also help with the amount of eye drops you're putting in because that's all gonna go down into your nasal cavity. So that's gonna help. So apologies for that, my SD card filled up. Just clear some space. Anyways, so what it's gonna help with is with all the drops you're putting in your eyes, it's gonna cause you to get congested. So this is also going to help. So they're gonna give you a steroid, and then they're also going to give you an antibiotic and artificial tears, and those are all 3 eye drops that you're going to be putting in. They're also going to give you a Tylenol and ibuprofen, depending on which one works better for your body. For me, ibuprofen works better than Tylenol, so that's why they give you the 2. Not to take them at the same time, basically, but mainly so that because some people react differently to different medicines, and some work better than others. So they give you all these different teardrops and everything else. You have to put artificial tears in about every 30 minutes whenever you're awake because your eyes cannot make tears, and dry eyes do not promote healthy healing. So they want your eyes to be well lubricated. So you're gonna put those in for every 30 minutes that you're basically awake. Throw them in because it's gonna help the dry contact feeling I told you about. That's gonna help it. It's gonna make it go away. You're also gonna have like your 2 other medicines, which are actually medicine eye drops, the steroid and the antibiotic. You're going to do those 4 times a day each. And then there's also another one that they give you, which is for pain. So you can use that for the first 5 days. So that will, I'll be honest, I used it and I felt no difference in it. It didn't make any of it go away, but I guess I wasn't in pain either, so I don't know. So use your eye drops like they tell you to, because that's the biggest thing. You have to keep your eye moisturized or it will not heal. Other thing, use your medication as needed. If you don't need the pain medicine, don't take it. Now, it's Benadryl. Use the Benadryl, at least at night. Take a Benadryl. It will help. It will help to get you to sleep and everything else. And then your vitamins, you have to take those twice a day for 6 months. So get used to it because you're gonna have to take those for 6 months. That's it. That's all the things that you have to take for the first 5 days. And then we'll go ahead and get into talking about what happens after the first 5 days. So the 5-day post-op. So we actually came back down to Virginia, and because we were not going to pay for a hotel room for all those days to stay up there. So we came back down to Virginia, stayed here for 5 days, and then I had my buddy drive me back up. So what happens is, all you do is you drive back up, and then they basically give you like a wean down program. They're like, hey, you shouldn't be taking the medicine, the eye drops that are for pain anymore. You shouldn't be taking them because you should only take those for the first 3 days. And then for me, they're like, all right, the antibiotic you stop taking, and you will keep taking the steroid and the vitamins. So those are the only 2 things, along with the artificial tears, because you're going to use those for a while, so get used to those too. So you're gonna use artificial tears once every hour, but you can use it more if you wish. And I found that by using them, actually, it makes your vision clearer. So I actually do use them more often, because the more lubricate, when your eyes start to dry out, your vision blurs. So if you just put eye drops in, your vision will be fine. So like, there's a wean down program. They're like, hey, for 2 more weeks, you're gonna do 4 drops of this, and then 3 drops for the next 2 weeks, etc., etc., until the point you just don't do it anymore. After that, you're gonna go into your other post-op appointments, which are gonna be with your optometrist at your base. So for me, I have a 1 month, a 3 month, a 6 month, and a year that I have to do with him. Basically, the way they say is after about 2 weeks, your vision should stabilize pretty well. And then at 6 months, your vision should stop changing altogether. Like what it is at 6 months is what your vision should be for the rest of your life. But you know, you have to do your year stuff because your eyes are still light sensitive at a year mark. So for that first year that you have it done, you will wear sunglasses whenever you go outside. And trust me, you're going to want to, because I'm 2 weeks into this and my eyes are still very sensitive to light. Even though they have undilated, they're still very sensitive. So take my word for that, you're gonna want the sunglasses anyways. So just get used to the cool look of wearing sunglasses everywhere. This pretty much sums it all up. I know it's probably a really long video, but instead of making just like a bunch of parts trying to describe different parts of it, I just kind of wanted to make one full video. And I want to thank you guys for sticking around to the end of this video. If you have, I hope that I'm putting out some really good information for you guys. I've been receiving a lot of really good feedback in the comment section down there. So I read all the comments. Feel free, drop a comment down below. Tell me what I'm doing great. Tell me what I'm doing bad. Tell me if I'm just doing everything bad. Just let me know, because you can only get better from people telling me. I hope the information was helpful. If you guys could drop a like down below, smash that subscribe button. That 98% of you that aren't subscribed, smash that subscribe button, because that will really help me out to get to the goals that I want for this channel. And it's also going to help to promote this channel, just having more people here. The way the algorithm works, it's going to get more people in to see this content. And if you're enjoying it, I'm sure other people would too. So tell your friends, tell your family, smash the like button, and then absolutely obliterate that subscribe button. And until next time, I will see you guys later.